Let's go Ravens! The heat is on behind the scenes in Baltimore, and I've got some big updates to break down with you. We know the Ravens are gunning for a Super Bowl, and for that to happen, John Harbaugh is going to need a deep, balanced, and dynamic roster. There's been a lot of buzz around what general manager Eric DeCosta might be cooking up with the NFL draft just around the corner, and from what we've seen and heard, something major could be coming. But before I dive into everything I know, hit that like button if you've been a Baltimore Ravens fan for over 20 years. We love seeing fans of all ages here. And if that's you, go ahead and drop a comment saying, "Go Ravens! My heart bleeds purple and black." Now let's get into the real story. Eric DeCosta might just be setting the stage for a draft day trade that could reshape the Ravens' draft capital, and it's all about strategy. With the NFL draft just 6 days away, DeCosta and John Harbaugh recently spoke to the media, and their comments offered a window into what could be a carefully calculated move. DeCosta emphasized that while the Ravens have 11 draft picks, it's unlikely 11 rookies can actually make this roster. That tells us he's not just looking at quantity, he's aiming for quality and flexibility. DeCosta highlighted that the team has 217 draftable players on their board this year. That's a big number compared to years past. Sometimes they've struggled to hit 165, but more importantly, he made it clear, the mid-rounds, rounds 3 through 5, are where the gold is buried in this draft class. That's not just speculation. It's a clear sign he might be ready to make moves that will position Baltimore to take more shots in those crucial middle rounds. So, what kind of move are we talking about? According to Chad Reuter from NFL Network, there's a mock trade on the table. Baltimore drops from pick number 27 to number 30, swapping with the Buffalo Bills. In return, they'd send Buffalo a 6th-round pick and receive a 4th-rounder. On paper, this might seem like a small move, but in terms of draft value, it's smart. It's about stacking mid-round picks, where the Ravens believe the best value lies in this 2025 class. And if that trade goes down, Baltimore's draft haul would look like this: 4 picks in the top 110 and 6 picks in the first 4 rounds. That gives them multiple chances to strike gold in a draft that's thin at the top but deep in talent through the middle. Why does this matter so much? Look back at last year's draft. The 4th-round pick, Devontae Walker, ended the season with just 1 reception. TJ Tampa barely saw the field. Adisa Isaac played sparingly. That's a rough return from the middle rounds, and DeCosta knows it. This year it's about getting more swings at those mid-round picks and not missing. But there's more. Another trade scenario could make even bigger waves. According to Sports Illustrated, the Ravens might be eyeing a move that would send pick number 27 to the New York Giants in exchange for 2 picks. A 2nd-rounder, num 34, and a 3rd-rounder, num 99. This would move Baltimore back 7 spots, but grant them another top 100 pick. And considering only 13 players have a true first-round grade this year, that's not a big sacrifice. DeCosta could still land one of his top targets and gain more capital in the process.
Who could those targets be? Names like James Pierce Jr., Donovan Ezeruaku, Maxwell Hairston, and Omar Norman-Lott are all in play. These are the kinds of guys who could go late in the first or early in the second, and with more mid-round picks, Baltimore could grab several of them. The Ravens might also be watching the quarterback market carefully. There's a real possibility that QB-needy teams picking early in the 2nd round could want to move back into the first to snag a quarterback and secure that valuable 5th-year option. If that happens, Baltimore's pick at 27 becomes a hot commodity. Think about teams like the Giants, Browns, or Jets. All of them could be tempted to jump back and to grab a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders or maybe even Jackson Dart. And if they call, DeCosta might be ready to deal. So here's the real question. Is this the year the Ravens trade down to gain more capital and build depth? Or do they stay put, or even trade up, for a game-changing playmaker who can contribute right away? From what we've seen and what DeCosta has said, both paths are on the table. The Ravens have the ammunition to move in either direction, and with such a flexible draft board, they can adapt in real time to how the draft unfolds. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Ravens should trade down, stack those mid-round picks, and take multiple swings at solid prospects? Or would you prefer to see them go bold, trade up, and grab a star who can make an impact from day one? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should Baltimore play it safe and deep, or swing big and go for immediate impact? I'll be back soon with the second part of this story, where we'll break down more possible trade partners, specific players the Ravens could be targeting, and how all of this could affect their path to the Super Bowl. Let me know what you think. Go Ravens! The draft rumor mill is spinning fast, and if you're a Ravens fan, you'll want to sit tight because this next part gets even more intense. The first part gave you the setup, Eric DeCosta's vision, the draft board, and the strategic possibilities. But now, let's dive deeper into what this could really mean for the Ravens roster construction and which names could be called when Baltimore steps to the podium. Eric DeCosta is no stranger to making bold moves when it counts, and this year's draft might be one of those moments where he pivots hard from traditional thinking. The signs are pointing toward one clear strategy: build depth with quality talent in the middle rounds. This isn't just about collecting bodies, it's about finding the next Geno Stone, the next Chuck Clark, or even another Isaiah Likely. Players who might not be flashy day one names but develop into serious contributors by season's end. The trade back scenarios discussed earlier could open the door to that. Dropping from pick 27 to 30 or even 34 might not excite the casual fan, but if it gives DeCosta 6 picks in the first 4 rounds, that's a massive opportunity to reload this roster with versatile, scheme-fit players who can rotate in and make an impact. Let's talk names. James Pierce Jr. is one of the most intriguing edge rushers in this class. He's got burst, bend, and the kind of twitch that Baltimore loves in its pass rushers. Donovan Ezeruaku brings a relentless motor and versatility as a hybrid linebacker/edge who can slide into different roles in Mike McDonald's system. And then there's Maxwell Hairston, a cornerback with size, physicality, and a nose for the football. The Ravens could use someone like him to add depth and future upside to a secondary that has seen its fair share of injuries in recent years. But don't sleep on the defensive line either. Omar Norman could be a dark horse pick if he falls to the second round. He's disruptive, plays with leverage, and offers pass rushing ability from the interior, something Baltimore could absolutely use in a rotation behind Justin Matabike. Then there's the secondary options like Trey Amos, who could give the Ravens another long, aggressive defensive back to develop behind established starters. Amos might not be a plug-and-play guy from day one, but in Baltimore's system, he could grow into a legitimate starter with the right coaching. So, if Baltimore goes the trade-down route and grabs a mix of these mid-tier stars, they could be quietly assembling one of the more complete drafts in the league. It's about matchups, fit, and development. DeCosta knows this roster is close, and the goal isn't to overhaul it, it's to supplement and sharpen it. That brings us to another possible wrinkle. What if Baltimore does both? Trade down for value, then package some of those late-round picks to jump back up into the third or even late second? They've got 4 sixth-rounders at their disposal. That's plenty of ammo to get aggressive if a top-rated guy falls into their range. But let's not forget, there's still the possibility of a surprise. One name we haven't fully addressed is Shedeur Sanders. Now, let's be real. He could go anywhere from the mid-first to early second. But if he falls, if quarterback-needy teams get nervous about traits or scheme fit, DeCosta could field calls from teams desperate to move back into the first round to grab him and secure that 5th-year option. But now it's your turn again. Would you be happy with Baltimore trading back and stocking up on talent, even if it means passing on a flashier name in round 1? Or would you rather see the Ravens move up into the top 20 and make a bold play for an immediate difference maker? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you the real breakdowns, the real rumors, and everything Ravens, every day. Click the video on the screen for more draft predictions and player profiles, and make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss the moment we go live on draft night. Go Ravens! We can make it to the Super Bowl!